This is my first Fender guitar, and it's amazing. This IkeGuitar, let's talk about this beauty. I've got a brand new guitar, and no, it's not brand new, but it's pretty dang close. Also, not a Christmas gift. This is my very first Fender guitar. Now, I know you guys are surprised, because didn't you have a Fender Squier before? That's because it's Squier, okay? It's not a Fender guitar. Squiers are their own brand. This is a Fender Player Series guitar. Look at that. Isn't that great? Now, as you guys have probably known or seen other videos about, I've been trading my way to a custom shop guitar. It's kind of been the hobby of mine since the pandemic started. Not a whole lot of playing time, but a lot of trading for certain instruments. So I started off with a Squier Bullet Series guitar, maybe worth 180, 200 bucks. Nothing to scoff at, but still a little bit on the lower end, more of a Chinese model. And then I've been trading up through the ranks, and finally I've reached this zenith, this plateau. I've reached this epic point in my journey. I've gone from Chinese-made guitars to my very first Mexican-made guitar. Not only that, this beautiful Stratocaster, this Player Series Strat in Tide Pool Blue. So the Player Series goes back a while. It took the place of Fender's old entry-level Mexican standards and replaced it with this new and improved brand. Now this Fender Player Series is pretty new, 2018, really great year for these guitars, and it's got the HSS configuration. It means humbucker, single, single, and it sounds wicked awesome. Not only that, but it's got a maple neck. It's got, of course, the nickel frets with black dot inlays, not even inlays, they're just black dots, really. And then, of course, it's got that coveted skunk stripe across the back of the maple neck. Now, the skunk stripe, traditionally, is where Fender routed their truss rods, and they realized shortly after routing their truss rod that it didn't look great to put straight-up maple back in place of that route they made, so they ended up doing skunk stripes. So it's usually some kind of walnut or some kind of oak or other stained wood. Now, this is not a premium skunk stripe right here, but the homage lives on in these Strats today. But enough of me talking about it. Let's go through the guitar and tell you all about what it sounds like and also how it feels, because this guitar feels incredible. So first off, right off the bat, when I got it, this guitar just feels really, really great. This body contour here, this cutaway, is really incredible. It fits really nicely underneath my chest here. And I'm not always a big fan of finished maple. I'm not a huge maple fretboard guy. I have a maple fretboard on my bass, and I especially don't really enjoy finished maple necks, but this one's an exception, man. This maple neck feels really good. The back of it doesn't even feel like it's finished. It feels more like some kind of, satin finish, obviously, but it's smooth underneath the hands, makes for fast playing, makes it feel really, really great. And obviously you can see how it kind of sparkles. The neck is a finished maple neck with the polyurethane. I like it. It's not too crazy. I don't usually like these because I like the feel of the grain underneath my fingers, but once again, it's an exception. This guitar sounds so good, and the maple neck really adds to that bite and the spank you'll get when we play this guitar and plug it in. Now, some other things to keep in mind with this guitar, obviously HSS configuration, humbucker, single, single. These are going to be Alnico 2 magnets, and this humbucker is going to be an Alnico 5. Now, there's not a whole lot of differentiation between those two humbuckers, but some might feel one's more chimey than the other. You can decide for yourself. Now, I really like the way this pickup sounds particularly. It feels nice and warm and mellow, and honestly, not a whole lot of noise coming from this pickup. This pickup isn't that noisy, in my opinion, and it sounds just so buttery smooth. It sounds really great. All right, we're going to move to our middle position, which is going to be our middle pickup right here. So there is going to be some pretty substantial differences between this middle position pickup and the neck pickup here. You can tell that the middle pickup definitely has a bit more mid-range, little high-end kick in there. So you can hear hear that subtle difference. Now that voicing of this middle pickup is probably one of the best I've ever heard on a Fender style guitar. Just saying. It just sounds really great, especially for the price point of this guitar. This middle pickup sounds incredible. Now we're going to try out our humbucker. I think you'll find that it's definitely markedly different than the two previous pickups we decided on. So definitely this final pickup is a bit more quacky. Like it's definitely more like a wah, wah, wah kind of sound, which I think is going to sound a lot better under overdrive. I don't think I would use this pickup live under a clean sound. Maybe I would, but I think it's going to be more for overdrive that will like this pickup here a little bit more. Now for your reference, let's do the two out of phase, positions 2 and 4 respectively. We'll demo those, see if you guys like those sounds. I know I do. Alright, so now we'll try some distortion. Now I've got a pretty much standard matchless style amplifier on this one, and I've got some distortion with a little bit of a boost on it. We're going to see how these pickups do in regards to how they break up and how they sound when they're broken up. Alright, let's try it out. It even keeps tune under the whammy bar. So what are my final thoughts on this guitar? I like this guitar. It's really cool. Now, I am going to say as a caveat, the strengths and weaknesses are pretty apparent. You heard it in the video. My biggest thing is under distortion, the guitar does not sound as good. Now, I tried a couple different distortions outside the camera to see if, maybe it just wasn't dialed in right. I can say that in general, the distortion qualities for this guitar, they aren't as full sounding. I get a lot of it's almost scooped in a way, scooped in the mids. I'm not surprised at that, but also kind of bumped. Kind of wanted to hear a little bit more fullness, want to hear a bit more of that high end come through on the distortion end. But nothing that can't be fixed. A little EQ adjustment post the distortion in your signal chain. So don't worry about it. But that clean sound more than makes up for what it lacked in distortion. With a little bit of dirt, a little bit of spice in that, it just sounds like a really great guitar. Now, would I buy this guitar for myself? I'm going to tell you, I got the guitar at a really great price, about $500. That guitar retails new for $729. Is it worth $729? No, it's really not worth that much. I would expect a much higher quality pickup in that guitar for the amount of money that it costs. But listen, I'm not going to complain. That's why you buy guitars on the used market. I'd never recommend anybody buying a mainline brand guitar, brand spanking new off the shelf, unless they knew it sounded great, okay? Unless I walked into the store, sat down and played it, then I would go and buy it. If I'm just buying off of some guy on Craigslist or Facebook, I'm going to buy it used, buy it for a great price, and then deal with that later. Now, I think that guitar is worthy of a $500 price tag. I think for anybody getting into the intermediate to advanced guitar world, maybe playing some more gigs, or they wanted a guitar that wasn't their $2,000 custom, playing on those long cold nights in Nashville, I highly recommend this Mexican-styled Strat to anybody. And the guitar also stays in tune, okay? Love the way the guitar stays in tune. You can't go wrong with a Strat, and that Tide Pole Blue looks oh so fine. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. I make videos all the time, not just ones about guitars. If you liked it, remember, I've got an Instagram as well. Be sure to hit me up at Instagram at IkeGuitar. Continue to subscribe. I need your subscribership. We got to get monetized by the end of the year. It's going to be awesome when we do. But be sure to tell your friends all about this channel. Subscribe, enjoy, and we'll see you guys next time on IkeGuitar.